Am I wrong for flipping out on my husband for canceling my job interview? So this might sound petty, but let me explain. In 2019, I could no longer work because of my physical disabilities. No company wanted to hire me for the past couple of years, and my husband said that it's just better that I stay home and not worry about working. I agreed, and he's become the breadwinner. Then it was like a switch that flipped, because chores were 50-50, but after I lost my job, they became 100% on me. Keep in mind my physical disabilities I developed. His excuse for not doing anything to help out is that I stay home 24/7. I told him that's not fair, especially since I suffered from physical discomfort. I told him I would find a job, and he laughed and said, "Good luck." I remember this vividly because of the strange laugh that I never heard him laugh before. He made a deal with me and promised that everything will be 50-50 once I started working again. I started looking for a job again for months, but had no luck until my friend's husband found me a potential job at a company that would have me work from home due to my physical constraints. I was so excited and felt like I was capable again despite the struggle. 2 days ago, I found out that my job interview got canceled. I found out when my friend reached out to ask why I did that, but I had no idea. I checked my email and found nothing because I didn't send anything to the company. My husband came home and admitted canceling the interview. I asked why, and he said that this job had lots of requirements and I didn't seem fit to be accepted there, so to spare me the heartache of being rejected, he just canceled the interview. I flipped out on him and told him he destroyed my one and only chance of landing a job. But he said he was just feeling concerned about my well-being. I told him he probably didn't want me to work because he didn't want to split the house chores, and he seemed offended by that. He threw a fit about how unreasonable and selfish I was to even consider a job without speaking to him first. "What are you, her dad?" He called me horrible for accusing him of bad intention, then went out to meet his friends, probably to vent because one of them told me that my husband is looking out for me, but I was being cruel to him by yelling.
This, my friend, is the definition of gaslighting. He wants you to think that he has best intention for you, but not the case. He's a controlling, manipulative asshole. Run the other way.
He has been cold shouldering me since then, deleted my social media accounts claiming that they're bad for my mental health because of the negative effects some of those platforms have. So, was I wrong for yelling at him? He deleted your social media accounts? Run, run, run. Like BTS says, Tashi, run, run, run. Oh, wait, that way. Go run.
Storytime about how I married my father. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, and trigger warning for this. My mom and dad got pregnant with me when they were only 16. They were both young and irresponsible. My mom wanted to keep me, but my dad didn't. My dad basically broke up with my mom and told her that if she wanted to have me, she would have to do it on her own. So my mom did. Luckily, my grandma helped her out a lot and she was able to stay in school. As a baby, my dad would visit me every now and then, but he wasn't really involved in my life as far as my mom says. Here's a little backstory on my dad. My dad grew up in a really strict family and he was expected to graduate and become a doctor. So that's pretty much exactly what he did. During the time that he was in college, he really didn't come see my mom or I, but of course my mom and him kept in contact. When my dad, or should I say husband, graduated from medical school, he finally got married. And of course this was hard for my mom because she thought eventually they would get back together. By the time my dad remarried, I was about 12 years old. I didn't have a relationship with him at the time and it didn't bother me. I was so busy with friends in school I never really thought about him. Not until I turned 14. This is when things started changing and I told my mom that I really wanted to talk to my dad. So he and I started talking on the phone and eventually he came to visit me. But things started changing when I turned 19. He actually ended up getting a divorce and he and I would spend more and more time together alone. Part 2. Storytime about how I married my father. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, and trigger warning for this. When I turned 19 is when my dad and I started spending more time together alone. Or should I say my husband? Keep in mind, I really didn't have a relationship during my teen years. We only spoke on the phone a few times and he would visit every now and then, but not a lot. When I turned 19, I was living in college and I was closer to my dad. So I decided to reach out to him and ask him if he wanted to have dinners every now and then, and he said yes. The first time we went out to dinner, we actually had a lot of fun, and it really didn't feel like I was hanging out with my dad. It was more like I was hanging out with a friend. We just didn't have that father-daughter dynamic. We would meet up almost every single weekend, and our relationship was actually very friendly. We would make each other laugh and talk about everything. And this is when we realized that we had a lot in common. Eventually, he asked me if I was dating anyone, and I told him I wasn't. When I got home, I started realizing that I wasn't thinking about my dad like a dad. I was thinking about him like a man. So the next time I saw him, I decided to tell him that. And that's when he told me that he didn't see me like a daughter either. It took a lot of courage for me to tell him this. So that's when things started to really change between us. Every time we would hang out after that, it was more like a date. We started getting to know each other, and he would hold my hand every now and then. And a few weeks later, we had our first kiss. Part 3 is up. Storytime about how I married my father. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, and trigger warning for this. After our first kiss, everything changed. We didn't think of each other as father-daughter. And of course, our relationship began to get more serious. And one thing we kept discussing was, should we tell our family or should we just keep it secret? So we kept it secret for almost a full year. I told my mom that I was dating someone, but I wouldn't tell her who it was. Also, a little side note, my mom and dad didn't have any contact between them at this time. My mom was actually married to someone else and they were very happy. But for me, it was getting to the point where I needed to tell somebody. Because yes, part of me felt that this was really wrong, but the other part of me felt that it was just right. I had never met anybody like him before. So I decided to tell my grandma, and she nearly had a heart attack. She called my mom right away and told her the truth. That's when my mom came over and we talked for a few hours. I explained to them everything and they still didn't agree with me. My mom called my dad and they got into an epic fight. I was totally expecting this, but it really hurt. My mom and grandma were totally against the relationship. That's when they told me that they would never speak to me again if I kept the relationship going. A few months later, we decided to get married privately. I didn't tell my mom. She actually found out through my best friend who was totally against our relationship as well. And she pretty much tells my mom everything I tell her. It's been 2 years since we got married and part of me still feels guilty and like I did something really wrong. But now it's getting even worse because I actually met someone who's my age and is not related to me. But I don't have the heart to break up with my husband/dad. I told my mom about this new guy and she really wants me to get a divorce. I feel like all along I was just looking for the love of a man because I didn't get that from my dad. Now that I'm seeing someone else, I'm realizing how wrong what I did was. But I don't want to break my dad/husband's heart. How can I fix this? What should I do?
Hi friends, my name is Avery and I live in Ukraine. Please like and subscribe. When my actress mom was pregnant with me, her water broke one day right in the middle of a drama shoot. I came a little early from my time, and then 2 years later, my sister Mia was born and our family was complete. And then it broke because mom and dad fought so much that they eventually got a divorce and dad left. At least there was some peace now. As time passed, mom noticed how I wasn't really growing like the other kids, and I was very short, like really short. When it was my 8th birthday, Mia was already taller than me, and everyone thought she was the older sister. When I joined Mia and her friends to play, they wouldn't let me.
Please, Mia, tell your sister to buzz off. We don't want crybabies. Want me to punch you and make you a crybaby? Okay, I'll let you play if you can snatch this ball from my hand.
I tried to reach it, but Mia was so tall. She went off with her friends, and I got pulled into mom's friend circle, where they kept treating me like a little kid. They were patting my hair, pulling my cheeks, and talking to me like I was a baby. Oh, who's a big girl now? Avery is. There will be a shoot for a Pampers commercial. Your younger daughter will be perfect for it. Actually, she's the eldest daughter. You remember her dad? She got her height from him. But look at my Mia, so perfect already. I felt my cheeks burn. I just got myself free and hid under the table. But when mom pulled me out and lifted me up to cut the cake, I angrily knocked the cake off the table and ran away. That night, I prayed to be taller, but that didn't really happen as fast as I wanted. A few days later, we were all invited to the launch party of a new luxury perfume. While mom was busy talking to someone, I spotted Mia with a mischievous grin on her face, carrying something in her hand.
What's that? Nothing. Are you crazy? You're stealing this? Go put it back. Come on, I was just playing truth or dare with a friend. I had to get it.
But as the guests were starting to gather in the hall, Mia shoved the bottle in my hand.
Okay, it's your problem now.
What? Mia, no!
Bye!
My younger sister was beautiful, charming, and also a jerk. Since I was small, I crawled to the podium unnoticed and placed the perfume bottle back. But just then, the owner caught me. Why are you holding this? I was so busted, but when I looked at her with puppy dog eyes, the woman melted. Oh, little Avery likes this too. So sweet. And that's when I learned the perks of looking younger than my age. I could get away with small mistakes. Mia wasn't nice to me at school either. She treated me as a complete outcast. And except for the teachers, nobody even knew we were related. While all the boys were going gaga over Mia, I was always the adorable, cute Avery. One time in the 9th grade, we had a play and, as always, I was given a small role in it, while Mia was the lead. But something bizarre happened right before we went on stage. Mia had a sore throat, and when she spoke, she sounded like a frog. She couldn't perform, so I offered to step in because I knew all her lines. The teacher seemed unsure at first, but she then gave me Mia's costume and a pair of heels. When I went on stage, I slayed the role. Later, when the entire cast was getting their pictures taken, the teacher called out to Mia. Mia, come here. Let's take some pictures with your sister. She did so well.
Wow, Mia, that's your sister? She's so cute.
And I think she performed better than you.
Heck no, this midget is not my sister. I think she's adopted or something. Look at her. She's nothing like me or my mom. And she hasn't shaved her legs in a year. Ew!
Worthless. Me? Worthless? Listen to your croaky frog voice first. My words made her see red, and she attacked me. As we rolled around fighting, we ended up on the stage, and people were shocked to see us. Careful! I just got my hair straightened yesterday, you idiot! Oh, really? Thanks for reminding me. The teachers took us away, and we both got a week of detention. As Mom took us both home that day, Mia told me I embarrassed her because I was a freak. But her words weren't gonna hurt me anymore. Everyone's reaction after the play had proved that people liked me. So the next day, this cute new boy came over to me. I was so happy. He must have seen my amazing performance too. But my happiness lasted for 2 seconds.
Hey, you're Mia's little sister, right? Here you go, kiddo. Here's a lollipop for ya.
Excuse me? Did you just call me kiddo?
Yeah, so? Now listen, I want you to do something for me. Give me your big sister's number.
I took the lollipop and pushed him away. Go ask her yourself, loser. And with that, I stormed off. Seriously, I couldn't wait for high school to be over so I could be out of Mia's shadow. When I turned 18, Mom took me and Mia to audition for a role in the TV series she worked in. While I was learning my dialogue, Mom and Mia were staring at me.
You can't be serious. Are you trying out for the role too? I only meant Mia.
Why not me? Come on, Avery. Stop kidding yourself. The role is of a hot female lead like myself, and not a kid. I felt so angry and decided to give it my best shot. When it was my turn, I did so well. But when it was Mia's turn, I could see her flirting with the producer.
Isn't she a natural? She's the beauty in our house. I think she'd be perfect for the role. She sure is beautiful, but your younger daughter, Avery, has great talent. Young lady, you can apply when you grow up. You'd be amazing.
Of course, Mia got the part. And when Mom and Mia started celebrating, I felt awful. I have a headache. I'm going to bed. Jealous that I got the role and you were told to grow up again? I just ignored her and walked away. And I started focusing on filling out my university application forms. In a couple of months, I got into a prestigious university in another city and moved there. When I was in my first year of university, my sister was already a big star. But I was really enjoying the independent life, living in a dorm with my friends. And as I grew older, people seemed to really like me. Everywhere I went, people commented on how pretty I was. And everyone wanted to know how I managed to look so young. Soon, I made an Instagram account where I posted vlogs of my life in the city. And pretty soon, it became a hit. My followers joked about me being a vampire girl because I looked like a teen even in my 20s. One time, I was out doing grocery shopping in a store, and I was trying to reach the top shelf when suddenly a boy came and helped me out. I thanked him, but then the boy asked me out. Ugh, not another high school kid. How old are you? 15? 16? Guess what? I'm 22. Too old for you. So, bye. Come on, do I look that stupid? The guy couldn't take a no. He kept following me around the store and saying I was a liar. I was getting really annoyed, and just when I was about to push him away, I heard someone call my name. I turned to see it was Ryan, a guy in my drama class.
Avery, sweetheart, where were you? I've been looking all over for you. Is this boy bothering you?
What? Sweetheart? When he winked at me, I knew what he was up to. Oh, no. This little boy helped me, and now he's on his way to his mama. Aren't you? The boy looked annoyed and left me alone. Ryan and I came out of the store laughing. After that day, we became good friends at university. I kinda had a small crush on him, but I never told him because he had a girlfriend. After graduation, I got a role in a TV show, and on my first day at work, I got a pleasant surprise. Ryan was in the cast too. It felt so good to have a familiar face at work. One time after work, I was on my way home when suddenly a man running by me started snatching my purse. I instantly took out some pepper spray, but before I could spray it, I fell and he ran away. Moments later, when I opened my eyes, someone was calling my name.
Avery, can you hear me? Are you all right?
Oh, Ryan, what happened? There was a man.
Yeah, the jerk got away, but I got your purse back. Come on, let's get you to a doctor.
Ryan took me to the hospital, and as the doctor checked my head, he kept holding my hand, and I felt butterflies in my stomach. That day, he dropped me home, and on our way, he told me how he'd broken up with his girlfriend a few months ago. The TV series Ryan and I were on proved to be a huge success. Soon after it ended, we started dating, and even though people made fun of our 1 foot difference, we didn't care one bit. Most people thought it was really cute. I kept doing roles in TV shows and commercials, but then at 27, I got the role of a teen girl in a big movie, and I signed up for it. A few days before its release, I was at my apartment when someone knocked on my door. It was Mom and Mia. What did you do to your face?
Well, hello to you too. And my face?
I made an investment. Investment? Where?
Oh God, on my face, Avery? These lips cost me like $1 million. Okay, fine. It was a 50% discount, but still.
I really tried to talk her out of the nose job she was planning on getting next, but she and Mom wouldn't listen to me. Avery, this is necessary. Mia needs to look younger to keep getting lead roles. Sweetie, I understand you don't get main roles, but there's no need to be jealous of your sister. You always knew she was the real star of the family.
Jealous?
Mom, do you really think all this plastic is doing her any good? Mia's a natural beauty and she doesn't need these things. Plus, she's not looking younger, just weirder.
Oh my God. If you can't be happy for me, then why did you even come to visit me?
You came to visit me, you airhead. Why are you even here?
Oh, we were in the city, and I wanted to see my cute little sister. Is that a crime? Okay, I'm lying. I just wanted to make sure you're still a loser and not even close to my fame.
And where's that hot boyfriend of yours? Did you break up?
Oh,
Mom, Mia, thanks for dropping by and reminding me why moving away from you guys was the best decision ever. I pushed them both out. It made me upset that I'd just never gotten along with the only family I had, but they were impossible. The very next day, Ryan called me and gave me some shocking news. My film had gotten rave reviews, and critics were in awe of my work. It was being called the freshest face in the industry, and I was everywhere. And right after that, I got invited to try out for a role in my favorite soap opera. But when I reached the venue, I was shocked to see Mia there.
Oh, look who's here for the audition. Miss Overnight Sensation. You must be here for one of the side roles?
Actually, Miss Avery's not here for the audition.
What? I'm not?
No. The producers and director have already selected you for the lead role. The scriptwriters wrote the character specifically with you in mind.
OMG, this was really happening. After talking with the producers, I accepted the role with a huge paycheck. And when I came out of the producer's room with a huge smile, Mia's face went pale.
Did you bribe them or something? There's no way you got the role so easily.
Mia, I'm here because I'm talented. I don't need to flirt, bribe, or turn into plastic to get roles. Now, please, get out of my way. And suddenly, Mia went psycho. Right when she tried to attack me, the security team came and kicked her out. Ryan held my hand and kissed me, and we walked over to the photographers. My smile was bigger than ever.
Okay, so story time about how my sisters were dating the same guy. This sounds like that one TV show called Sister Wives. Do you guys remember that at all? Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. So a little background information. I was a junior. Now, when this all went down, I was about 17 years old, but I literally remember it like it was yesterday because of how much of an impact it left on my family and how traumatic it was. My sisters and I all really had a great relationship. I was the youngest. My one sister, Millie, was 24 years old and she was the oldest. She was smart and super pretty, but for some reason had major self-confidence issues. I really don't know why, but you know. My other sister, Lisa, she was the definition of a blonde. Super pretty, no brains. Hate to say that about my sister, but it was true. Still is. I don't know what it was, but all their lives they felt like they had been pinned against each other. Like they acted that like life in general was a competition between both of them. I don't know why. That's how it's always been. They would always steal each other's clothes, makeup, shoes, anything they could. Like if a clothing article looked better on Millie, Lisa would steal it. And yeah, that's just how they were. Quick little interjection here. If my makeup looks weird, it's because I'm not putting it on my hairline because I don't want to have to wash my hair tonight. So summer's almost here and it seems like it might be time for Millie to move out. Lisa has another year until she has to move out, my parents said. Fast forward, it's time for Millie to get the hell out of my parents' house. So my dad hires some movers. No big deal, right? You know, he just hires movers like a normal person would do, right? Wrong. Not only did my dad get movers, but he got the best looking ones.
to do the job. He should have known probably not to do that considering he had a house full of 3 girls. But as we've learned being on this planet for a very long time, men don't think. To be honest, I should just blame my dad for this whole situation. Just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, yeah, they were super hot, right? Like, even my mom was like, well, this caused my sisters to go into a panic mode like little psychopaths. Like, I kid you not, both of them went upstairs, they got changed into some skimpy outfit, they both did their makeup in a span of like 10 minutes. The whole time, my sisters spent more time hitting on these guys, especially this one, instead of helping move or anything like that. And they both wanted this one guy who was really hot, so it was just like a shit show. And for some reason, like desperate attention-seeking people, they spent that night crying, comparing why their lives were worse than each other's. I don't know why the hell they did this. I figured what I pretty much got out of this is if whoever's life was sadder meant that they could have the guy, who we're gonna call Adam. I don't know what the end result of that ended up being, but I thought it had been Lisa because I saw her going out with him the one day. And then I was really confused because a few days after he had came and picked up Millie. This had me very confused. It felt like I was on an episode of Sister Wives. Very, 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 very confusing. So eventually I go and decide to collect a little bit of information about what's going on. I decide to go and talk to my sisters individually. After talking to both of them, I found out that they both get 3 dates with this guy, and whoever he likes more can have him. That is like the epitome of being desperate. It was, I can't deal. I can't. Well, fast forward, summertime is over, school is about to start back up, and it seemed as if this year was going to be a good year for everybody. Then I kid you not, a day after school starts, my family and I find out that Millie is pregnant. This is why we can't have nice things. So she decides to keep it, and she says, this baby's a blessing, even though the father and I didn't work out. I'm like, okay girl, if that's what you call it, that's you. She said that she knew in her heart that this is what she wanted. So you know what? I tried to be happy for her. I was like, okay sis, you know, if that's what you want, period. That being said though, her and Adam were over and she had no plans of them getting back together or anything. Which is kind of understandable considering that, he was now screwing my sister Lisa. So eventually she says that she just wants to contact him and let him know that she's pregnant, and she wanted to let him know how the baby was doing. Because apparently she had been pregnant for a while, she just didn't tell anybody. But then, you'll never guess what happened. Literally, as soon as she is pulling out the phone to call him while our whole family is sitting at the table, she gets a call from him. At this point, we're all super confused on how he even knows in the first place. He was like, you need to get rid of that baby. This isn't fair to me. Like, I can't raise 2 kids. And we're all like, whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, how do you know about this? Second of all, what do you mean raise 2 kids? Well, then she tells him that she's not getting rid of it and she expects nothing from him. But then she also goes, what do you mean another kid? He said, yeah, your sister's pregnant too. Oh, yep. Lisa is pregnant too. Wow, my life should be like a soap opera at this point, literally. But then he also says Lisa's known that she's pregnant for 2 months. Like, she knew she was pregnant. So at this point, we're all pissed at Lisa for not telling us. We were all shook to the bone. Lisa starts to cry. She starts apologizing. Yes, Lisa is there while he's telling us this. Because we all look at Lisa like, what the fuck did he just say, bitch? Like, Maddie from Euphoria comes out of Millie. It was bad. That didn't really help the situation though. Millie did decide to get an abortion after that. She was like, fuck to the no. And Lisa was pretty much dead to her. Oh, also, Lisa and Adam were gonna get married. Yep. That was the plan. Millie and I don't really talk to Lisa as much anymore. After that happened, it was just like not a good situation. They fought about it for months. Like out of the blue, Lisa would call Millie, be like, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, da 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 da, I'm so sorry. And then Lisa would be like, go off yourself, please, respectfully, thank you. Well, my mom was really the only one who talked to Lisa after that. But another thing, he ends up leaving Lisa and tries to hit on me. Yep, my 17-year-old self. And he ended up like getting infatuated with the situation, I feel like, of getting with my sisters. And like we had to get a restraining order against him because he would like stalk me and stuff. So yeah, but overall it pretty much ruined our family. I mean, the only good thing that really came out of it was my nephew Parker, and he'll sometimes be over my mom's house whenever Lisa isn't there, of course.
Am I wrong for flipping out on my husband for canceling my job interview? So this might sound petty, but let me explain. In 2019, I could no longer work because of my physical disabilities. No company wanted to hire me for the past couple of years, and my husband said that it's just better that I stay home and not worry about working. I agreed, and he's become the breadwinner. Then it was like a switch that flipped because chores were 50-50, but after I lost my job, they became 100% on me. Keep in mind my physical disabilities I developed. His excuse for not doing anything to help out is that I stay home 24/7. I told him that's not fair, especially since I suffered from physical discomfort. I told him I would find a job, and he laughed and said, "Good luck." I remember this vividly because of the strange laugh that I never heard him laugh before. He made a deal with me and promised that everything will be 50-50 once I started working again. I started looking for a job again for months, but had no luck until my friend's husband found me a potential job at a company that would have me work from home due to my physical constraints. I was so excited and felt like I was capable again despite the struggle. 2 days ago, I found out that my job interview got canceled. I found out when my friend reached out to ask why I did that, but I had no idea. I checked my email and found nothing because I didn't send anything to the company. My husband came home and admitted canceling the interview. I asked why, and he said that this job had lots of requirements and I didn't seem fit to be accepted there, so to spare me the heartache of being rejected, he just canceled the interview. I flipped out on him and told him he destroyed my one and only chance of landing a job. But he said he was just feeling concerned about my well-being. I told him he probably didn't want me to work because he didn't want to split the house chores, and he seemed offended by that. He threw a fit about how unreasonable and selfish I was to even consider a job without speaking to him first. What, are you her dad? He called me horrible for accusing him of bad intention, then went out to meet his friends, probably to vent because one of them told me that my husband is looking out for me, but I was being cruel to him by yelling.
This, my friend, is the definition of gaslighting. He wants you to think that he has best intention for you, but not the case. He's a controlling, manipulative asshole. Run the other way.
He has been cold shouldering me since then, deleted my social media accounts claiming that they're bad for my mental health because of the negative effects some of those platforms have. So, was I wrong for yelling at him? He deleted your social media accounts? Run, run, run. Like BTS says, Tashi, run, run, run. Oh, wait, that way. Go, run.
Even though I, 23 female, am American, my parents are immigrants and therefore I have a different cultural upbringing than most. However, one thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting anyone's house. It doesn't matter if it's family or friends or that one person you kind of know but don't really like, bringing something is a must. My boyfriend, 28, and I have been dating for almost 4 years now. And since we both work from home, he suggested we make dinner with his parents a weekly thing, since we haven't been able to see each other much for obvious reasons. I love his parents, so obviously I agreed. So every week I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for the cooking for us, always using my own money. A small bottle of wine, their favourite dessert, some flowers, etc. They always thank me for it. This has been going on for a few months, and I absolutely didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my boyfriend and I were preparing to head over. I'd gotten a cute vase of daffodils since, luckily, I'd found some in bloom, and my boyfriend's mom really loves them. But my boyfriend suddenly got mad and asked why I kept bringing stuff over every week, like his parents were a charity case. Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was and that I've always done this with everyone, including his friends, since we met. I said it was a cultural thing, but then he got even madder and told me to stop imposing my culture on everyone, and it's weird since I'm white. At that point, I didn't feel like going anywhere with him and just gave him the flowers and went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home, he still had the flowers, which he gave to me and told me he was sorry, but his parents really were super annoyed with me constantly bringing stuff over like they couldn't take care of themselves. And later on, I got a text from his dad asking me not to come over for dinner anymore. So now my boyfriend's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology, but I really, truly don't feel like I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them. Am I the idiot? Wow, not the idiot. Cut your losses. Your boyfriend and his family are ungrateful. Moreover, from the description of your gifts, a small bottle of wine, their favourite dessert, some flowers, etc., their complaint is way out of line. Wine, dessert, flowers? That's not what you give to charity cases. Since they seem to feel that you're treating them as charity cases, it's not like you are bringing grocery store gift cards or boxes of canned goods. Suddenly it occurred that his father told you not to come to dinner anymore but didn't say why, and your boyfriend went to dinner alone. I'd be interested in knowing what exactly your boyfriend said to his parents. Was it really because of the gift giving and that you were imposing your culture on someone? Or did the boyfriend embellish your reasons for not going? Or flat out lie to his parents to make you look bad? His dad texted you. The father of a nearly 30-year-old man texted you to tell you you are no longer welcome at their home because of basically host gifts. No, not the idiot. This dude and his family suck. Yeah, those are perfectly normal gifts to bring to thank someone for cooking dinner and hosting. I'm also pretty sure that the boyfriend is lying, especially considering they previously appreciated those gifts. A way for OP to find out if she's being tricked is to text the dad what looks like a sincere apology for the things the boyfriend said about. Like, I'm sorry for bringing the gifts over. My boyfriend told me how it made you feel disrespected. I enjoyed your dinners and it was just my token of appreciation. I never meant to disrespect you. I don't feel this is just a cultural thing. Is this not normal when visiting a friend or family member's place? If people host something, a guest usually brings something to contribute or to show appreciation for having them over. I feel this is normal etiquette. Not the idiot. Get rid of your boyfriend. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing everything right. Update. I'm feeling extremely overwhelmed right now and just making a quick comment because all of you are being so nice. I sat my boyfriend down after dragging him off his game and grilled him about what was happening, but he said I was being crazy when I started all this and to just let us write a text to his parents apologizing. I said no and that we would go over to apologize, but he started freaking out, which was the final straw. He's doing everything to get me to stay home, but I'm going over and sorting this out since I tried calling anyway, but the number's out of order. He's refusing to answer any of my questions now and threw the flowers out. Now I'm just getting mad. I have no idea why there's this sudden behavior change, but I'm going to find out. My fiancé, 29 male, and I, 28 female, have been together for 5 years. I have 2 boys, aged tween and pre-tween from my previous relationship. My fiancé fits in with my little family well, but I cannot stand that this man cannot keep a secret to save his life and always has to be the fun parent, meaning even if I'm the one who made plans, he'll run and tell the boys without asking me to do so, or like waiting for me to take steps to tell them. He hates surprises, so he thinks everyone is this way. He doesn't do it to be malicious, but it's beyond irritating. In the beginning, I simply thought he was doing this to win the boys over, but it continued and never stopped. I've talked to him about it several times, and he always says something to excuse it, like, I feel they have the right to know so they can make a decision themselves, or I feel we needed to tell them so they could gain independence and pack their own belongings and see what they do and do not want to bring with them. I understand where he's coming from, but I still feel like I'm the mother and making these plans is completely overlooked. And I told him enough was enough. My choice. I'm the final decision holder. He can have an opinion, but I have the final say. So over the past couple of years, he's gotten better about it, but it's still there. Like I wanted to bring the kids out to eat a nice dinner roughly 3 months back because I'd been working non-stop and hadn't had time for family things. Instead of just letting me figure out plans, he immediately ran in and told the boys we were bringing them out to eat and asked where they wanted to go. No discussion with me about it. He didn't ask if I had a restaurant in mind. So that made me angry because, well, we ended up at McDonald's where I can't eat. No play place in this one either. Anyways, I planned a trip to bring my kids to the Boston Aquarium and the Boston Museum of Science last weekend, and I purposely didn't tell my fiancé because I know how he is. I wanted it to be a surprise. I planned to bring them to the Wolf Lodge the next day for a 4-day mini vacation. Well, I'd left the tab up, not open, on my computer, and my fiancé found out that I'd purchased tickets. I immediately told him he better keep his mouth shut because it's a surprise for the boys. At first he did, but when we got in the car the day we were leaving and the kids asked where we were going, he told them immediately. I was fuming. I didn't talk to him the whole trip, and when I got home I cancelled his ticket for the Wolf Lodge, told him why, and asked him to leave for the night. I didn't want him ruining yet another surprise plan that I had for the kids. He thinks I'm too hard on him because he is excited too, and that's why he can't keep his mouth closed. But I'm honestly done with it. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your fiancé is an adult, so the "I was excited, couldn't keep it in" doesn't fly anymore. I get being excited, but he also needs to learn how to be the boy's parent, not their friend. Does he also tell them all their Christmas presents too? What a killjoy, in my opinion. Holy smokes, this guy doesn't respect your boundaries. He's undermining your position and setting the stage for your kids, playing you against each other. I'm a step-parent, and it's important that parents are on the same page and a united team. He is anything but. I get plenty excited when we plan a surprise for the kids, but I don't tell them. Eventually, this will turn into a you versus them, fiancé included, situation. Get him into couples counseling or rethink the relationship. Paula, 31, attended a large multi-day work conference that my boyfriend, Tom, 48, also attended. We worked for different companies, networked with different people, and pretty much only saw one another when it was time to go to sleep. Most people don't know we're together because neither of us has a social media presence or talks about our personal lives that much. So I primarily stuck with the people I knew from my office, Sarah and Marilyn, and a couple of other people that I knew from school. One woman, Tiana, late 39, knew Marilyn and decided to stick close to our group, and she had a kind of mean girl attitude that I only remember from high school. Tiana is gorgeous and she knows it, and for some reason my existence seemed to offend her personally. It may be because I'm average looking and plus sized. She may have some personal beef with me that I don't know about, I don't know. But she would constantly make little passive aggressive digs at me. For example, about my hair. "I just love how you have a signature look and wear your hair in a bun every day with the little wispies," which are just frizz. About what I'm eating. "Those bread rolls look so good, but I was just stuffed after eating only half. Do you want mine too?" And she would do things like ask me to take a picture of her, Sarah and Marilyn, or call the Uber for all of us and be the one to sit up front. Just little subtle digs, all conference. Before the closing cocktail reception, we were in the bathroom freshening up, and Tiana started talking about a really attractive guy with green eyes at one of her sessions, and my ears perked up. ETA, when she continued talking about him, I knew it was Tom. She said that she talked to him briefly and thought there was some chemistry there, and said she would ask him out at the closing cocktail reception. I pretended not to know who she was talking about. I just nodded and smiled while she talked about how it was good they were the same age, because age gap relationships are gross, and how she hadn't dated anyone in a while and should shoot her shot. While we were at the cocktail reception, I, from across the room, watched Tiana go over to Tom and start talking. Tom has told me that she complimented his eyes, said that she didn't see a ring on his finger, and asked if he had a girlfriend. He said, "Yes, Paula, she's actually here." As I moved through the crowd toward her and Tom, Tiana recovered and ran off. Sarah has said that she immediately rounded her, Marilyn, and a couple of others up and started crap, telling me and saying things like she couldn't believe someone like Tom would date someone like me in the first place, etc. But because of how mortified and embarrassed Tiana was afterward, I want to know if I'm the idiot. Not the idiot. I hope you giggled a lot about this. It might be a good idea to offer some compliments to make her feel better. I like how you have confidence to come back into the group after embarrassing yourself. I couldn't do it. Good for you. She gave a vague description and you thought you knew who it was and happened to be right. What if she was talking about another attractive green-eyed man and you had said, "Actually, that's my boyfriend"? Sure, you could have pressed the issue and found out for sure and then let her know, but honestly, it doesn't sound like you have the kind of relationship where you would, or would be expected, to push more if it wasn't your boyfriend. OP, there's nothing embarrassing about asking a man out and him politely saying no, I'm attached. She's only mortified because it's you and she sees herself as superior to you. Therefore, it's somehow an insult to herself that you have a man that she wanted. This drama is all in her head. It's no big deal.
To hold on to, give me something. To hold on to, give me something. To hold on to. We going up, yeah, we going up, baby. Give me. We going up, yeah, we going up, baby. Give me something to hold on to.
I have an older sister who's autistic and disabled. I love my sister more than life and she's a great person in my life. She's never bothered me with anything and she's extremely supportive of me. I understand that due to her disability, my parents would put more focus on her throughout her childhood, but growing up I realised how several of my needs were neglected and I lost potential growth in my life because my parents focused 90% of their emotional and physical attention on my sister, while they only provided me with the basics. They'd simply give me pocket money to have and put a roof over my head, but they weren't parents towards me and they never once cared about my dreams, ambitions and achievements. Despite that, I never grew any resentment towards my sister because she was the only supportive person. After I left for college, my parents have been dropping hints once in a while about how my sister will be my responsibility once they're gone. I'm now engaged, living with my fiancé. My parents have implied that I should fish info on if my fiancé would be okay with caring for my disabled sister in the future and her being our responsibility. I respectfully told my parents that neither my fiancé nor I want to have this responsibility. My fiancé's ex had a disabled mother she cared for, and that led to them having no alone time, no privacy, no flexible time to spend time together as a couple. He respected the situation and walked out as he recognized that their priorities and needs in a relationship are different. On the other hand, I don't wish to center my whole life around my sister once again. While I love her dearly, I want to live my life on my own terms for once, without feeling responsible for another person when it's not my choice. I plan on helping however I can, but not completely be responsible. My parents claim I'm being an idiot for this and how I'm crappy for repaying my beloved sister like this. Am I the idiot? Absolutely not the idiot. First of all, I'd ask your parents what their financial plans for her are. They should be setting up a trust for her care after they pass. I would agree to manage her finances so that she has the highest standard of care and support that the trust they leave and her disability payments can pay for, and pick her up and bring her home for family events and parties, and to take her out for her birthday and visit frequently. But you have zero obligation to be your sister's caretaker after they pass at the expense of your own family and goals. Absolutely. Your parents are responsible for assuring the sister's care, and OP can certainly have the power of attorney or guardianship, but not be the primary caretaker. In fact, it might well be to the sister's benefit to have professional caregiving. I'm in this same boat, and while I will absolutely make sure my sibling is appropriately cared for, they will not be living with me. We would drive each other nuts. Not happening. Not the idiot. I hate to say that it seems like they had you to be a future caretaker for your sister, but it seems that way, which is just as crappy as parents who have a sick child, then have another in case the first child needs a bone marrow match, a kidney, etc. You are not responsible for your sister. No matter how much you love her, it doesn't mean you have to give up your future to take on the responsibility of caretaker. Don't let your parents guilt trip you. This happened a couple of nights ago, and my 22 male roommate, 23 male, is still whining about it, so I want to see if I was the idiot here. So a couple of nights ago, I got back from school absolutely starving, didn't eat breakfast or lunch, Got in around 6 p.m. My friend from class came over too, so it's not like I ate everything by myself. It's been a while since I last had an omelette, so I decided to whip myself up one, asked my friend if he wanted any, and he happily accepted. There were like 8 eggs left, and their expiration was the next day, so I decided to just add all of them to the omelette. Important to note that these were eggs that I bought. After we ate, we just kicked back and just chilled. My friend left around 9 p.m. My roommate has an intense schedule, so he didn't get back until around 11 p.m. He started banging on my door and asked where the eggs were. I told him I'd eaten them since I was hungry. He just got even angrier and said, "Why couldn't you just leave me one egg? I'm starving, man." So I said, "My bad, man, they were going to expire and my friend ate some too. Eat something else?" He huffed off, but man, this guy won't let it go. It's been like 3 days. Even his girlfriend says I'm a bad roommate for letting him go hungry. I don't know, it's starting to get to me. I guess technically I didn't need that much egg, so just wanted to know if I'm the idiot here. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You bought the eggs, so you're free to eat as many as you want. I'm assuming there were other things he could have eaten besides the eggs as well. Your roommate is just acting like a drama queen. If he really wants something specific to eat, he can get them himself, especially after this incident. Not the idiot. He's a mooch. Put your foot down and start telling him to go grocery shopping. Saying he can have some if he wants doesn't mean you have to set some aside just in case he decides he wants some later. If he came home with granola bars and said you could have one if you wanted, but you didn't take one, then would you be angry if you wanted one days later and they were all gone? Then why should he expect you to reserve some of your food for him indefinitely? Not the idiot. At all, LMAO. Are you his father? Reading some of the replies, it seems like he doesn't even buy his own food. You aren't responsible for him and you aren't letting him go hungry. Eggs weren't his only option and you bought them. I'm struggling so hard to understand how your roommate and his girlfriend could think it's your fault he didn't have anything to eat.